everybody? Welcome back. Hey, AFC Northerners. Man, I've missed you guys. Going down the line.
Hey, Mark Herman, a.k.a. LA Bengal fan on Twitter, repping the Bengals.
Dave Green, and I'm sitting in a damn chair, not on a couch.
Jan Davis Hutar, Ravens.
Chris Atkins, Steeler Nation.
All right, guys. So let's go down the line, talk about team news and anything else we got going on.
All right, well, Adam Jones, is suspended for the first game of the season. He's talked about appealing it. Accept your suspension, shut the fuck up, stay out of trouble, sit out your game. It's fine. William Jackson III, Denard will get more playing time. And you can take your lumps and shut the fuck up.
Who do you guys open with?
We open with the Ravens.
Yeah, we do.
So
sit them down for a week.
Yeah. Camp open, full pads today. Gio looks awesome. William Jackson III looks awesome. Eifert's up to full speed. He looks great. Joe Mixon looks unbelievable. There's been a lot of footage. You can check Twitter. It's online of him just hitting the hole. He looks unbelievable. A guy's name I'm going to throw out there, Trey Hopkins, is also impressing. It's alluded today. He's a 2014 undrafted free agent from the University of Texas, and they've alluded today that he could win a starting guard job. So, like I said, let's not freak out. There's horses in the stable that we've had. We've had this guy since 2014. He's played behind Zeitler. These guys are going to step up. MJ is a little banged up. It's not supposed to be anything serious. Kumaro injured his knee. He was a long shot to make the team anyway. So he was put on the IR. Actually cleared waivers. I think we picked his contract back up, but he's not going to make the team this year. Our biggest injury was George Iloka. Dodged a bullet, strained his knee, out 3 to 4 weeks, but he's expected to be there for the start of the season. Duron Smith also tweaked his ankle. So those are our 2 injuries, not supposed to carry into the regular season. Also, we waived a kicker and immediately filled the spot with Cedric Thompson, who's a 5th-round pick from the Miami Dolphins, and spent some time with New England. He's a safety, so you can see them adding safety depth just in case. But we've really dodged a lot of injuries. Big scare today was Burfect Tez tackling in a non-tackling drill. Gio wasn't, when I first heard about it, I thought, oh my gosh, he hit low. He just went around the waist, but the bottom line is it was a non-tackling drill. So let's stop let's knock that out. Gio's fine, but still it led to a bench clearing brawl. So, and Pierman is on the non-football injury list. And the last thing I want to say is John Ross, who was a big concern about whether he'd be ready for camp, came to camp. He's a full participant. He looks great. So obviously the Bengals doctors knew more than I did when I bashed him for picking him in the first round. So jury's still out. I'm looking forward to seeing him. So cool. That's Bengal news.
Awesome. All right. Today was a day off. We were in pads yesterday. We'll be in pads tomorrow and Thursday. We have the scrimmage on Friday. It's an inter-squad scrimmage. It's free to the public. All you got to do is register on clevelandbrowns.com. Go on down and see the Brownies on Friday. Injuries, Ed Reynolds sprained the left MCL. He's going to be out for about 6 weeks. Caleb Brantley broke his finger. A couple of weeks right there. Chris Barker, he injured his Achilles. We went ahead and we dropped him. And then the other guy that was injured is Howard Wilson. He's starting the season on the PUP list. Transactions, we'll go back to the Barker one. When we waived Barker, we went ahead and picked up Brandon Wilds. Not Brandon Wilds, sorry guys. Kid O'Brien. And then we signed him. We also waived George Atkinson III. And we picked up off of waivers Brandon Wilds, the running back. We've looked good in practice. It's all starting to come together. There's continuity going on. Everybody's saying the right things.
Who do you think is from what you've seen so far, as far as like QB position battle, like?
We can talk about that next time on down.
George Atkinson III, is that the grandson of the guy who dumped Bradshaw on his head?
Maybe. We picked him up from you guys last year.
Yeah, interesting. There you go.
Mid-year last year.
I'll just never forget that footage of watching Bradshaw get picked up and dropped right on his noggin.
Well, he's out there now if you guys need a running back.
We need everything.
Baltimore guys.
Yeah, go ahead. Okay. We've got the walking wounded report coming right now.
And
I do feel for you because this is not what training camp's supposed to be.
Not normal.
It's kind of picking up right where you left off, though.
You know what? Yeah, it is.
It really is.
It feels like 2015 all over again. But we still swept you twice that year, so that's so good.
last leg?
Against Ryan Mallett. You guys lost against Ryan Mallett. Okay.
He's a stud. He's a stud.
Okay, so hi Ravens fans. First of all, I'm a bad host. I want to also thank one of our sponsors. Thank you very much for designing our logo. Really appreciate you, Peter. Thank you so much. Check out superfanstyle.com. I'm going to put that up right here, right now.
Superfanstyle.com.
If you use the code AFC North 20, you will get 20% off of your purchase. So please go check them out. Okay, so getting in, Ravens fans. Man, it's between the talk of like all the injuries, the voodoo that has been put on us, God knows how, I don't know what, but it's been ridiculous.
It's called comeuppance.
Yeah, no, it's sure. So today, we're recording this on Tuesday, so just today, Siragusa tore three ligaments.
God.
Maurice Kennedy's out. Tavon Young's obviously out. It's been a while since we talked, guys. Pitta, Urschel retired. Flacco is out right now, but he may be back in a week or two. It may be that brand new mattress that he bought, and now he hates. I don't know. Perryman, as far as we know, tweaked his hamstring. We're not really sure.
Yeah, they wouldn't say.
We're not sure. The good news is that Campanero is back, and he actually caught a pass today on with first team reps, which was great because I heard Terrell Suggs sit there and go, "Who's a new guy?" Which was great because he was basically out all season of last. Williams is back. Max Williams is back, so that's good to see him on thing. Jefferson's back after having the hernia surgery, and he was actually able to practice today, so that was really good. Basically, I'll get into more of the position battles too in a little bit. Really good to see Chris Moore out there. He made some beautiful catch today. Tim White's looking great. Mike Wallace, happy birthday, Mike Wallace. Happy birthday to you. And Tyus Bowser and Kamala Correa are just like knife edging it. They're just looking so sharp in there. I'm really happy about them. And we picked up a QB that we got rid of and then picked up another one. Olsen, who was an Arena League guy. That's interesting. Yeah, it's interesting.
I don't even know if it was Arena League. It was just an indoor league.
Yeah, it was like, I think it was an indoor arena. I may be wrong on that. And we've got, the poor man's Joe Flacco, Ryan Mallett. So there's that. So
Poor man's Joe Flacco.
I mean, there's so much to talk about. I just want to get that out of the way. I don't want to talk about injuries anymore. We'll talk about that in a minute. So I'm going to pass it on to you.
I'll start off with injuries. Good thing is nothing lingering from last season, so that's a good start. The terrible start that we were having here, Senquez Golston. I mean, third season in a row that before the first snap you might be done. So he's got a hamstring. It's not that serious at this point, but it's just a terrible showing on his part to not even make it through your third preseason. I mean, you can't even make it through camp. So how are we going to trust you, during the season? Now, what's really interesting about that is there were high hopes for Golston coming into this year because we need to make this transition from zone to man. Like everyone's been talking about since our ass whooping at the hands of the Patriots last year. Converting to man coverage from the zone seems like the answer to all of our questions right now as far as
it
the
would make
defense.
sense.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are like wearing yourselves out so quickly.
And it obviously isn't working, so we'll have to see how that goes. I'll talk more about that with Cam Sutton here in a little bit. Other injuries we got. James Conner, he's got a shoulder. He's the running back from Pitt. Absolutely love him, love his story, so I want to see him come back and do well.
Is that the cancer kid?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So I'm going to talk more about him later as well. Landry Jones has abdomen.
Landry Jones!
Landry, you might be playing
Here,
yourself.
Kaepernick's available.
You might be playing yourself right out of his job. He might be playing himself right out of his job, and he needs to be on the field because there's a young man by the name of Joshua Dobbs who can build rockets and throw football a little bit better than
rocket
Landry.
scientist.
That's a good go.
Stephen Tuitt, I'm a little worried here because he got beat up a little bit last season. He's got the ankle he's dealing with. And Ryan Shazier, who, he's going to have something every season. This year is just a little bit of heat he couldn't handle out there in Latrobe.
Yeah, some IV shit.
Yeah, he's fine. But good to see the boys back in Latrobe. Not out there drinking Rolling Rock. They're out there working.
Drink more orange juice. There you go. Drink more orange juice, bro.
Yeah. Gatorade, whatever.
Yeah,
Mark?
exactly.
Yeah, okay. So, one of the things I wanted to mention with the Kumaro injury, we immediately went out. We waived wide receiver Monty Mateus, but we went out and we got Levonta Whitfield. You might remember ran back the 100-yard kickoff return in the BCS game for Florida State. So we keep with our theme of speed, and we get one of the faster guys up there. So real, it was good to kind of throw another horse in the barn there. Position battles I want to talk about too. Number one, I said we cut John Brown. It's a different John Brown, not the guy who was chased out of the Giants team. But we cut John Brown. So now it's between Bullock and Elliott for kicking. And I'm telling you, Elliott's going to be our kicker game day. So that one's there. Also, I want to talk about how excited I am to see our front seven, because Billings hits our line this year. And Clark is going to be a big contributor to our line. We already have Gino. We've got Michael Johnson. We've got Carlos Dunlap. We added Lawson. We added Jordan Willis. And Lawson can also go to linebacker. And now you look about Vigil. Looks like he's going to take that next step, that second-year step. He's looked really good in camp. And Minter looks like he was the perfect fit. So you're going to have Minter, Tez, Vigil. Behind them, you've got Vinny Ray. I mean, the front seven is going to be bold. I mean, they're going to be really impressive. I think we got a top 10 defense for sure, maybe a top 5 defense. If these guys stay healthy, everything is got the health bug.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. But I'm really, really excited to see our front seven come this season. So, yeah.
We've got a few things we could talk about. We could talk about the quarter battle between the three guys. They're saying they're not going to make a decision on that till after the Friday scrimmage.
That makes sense.
And who knows, we may not even make a decision after that and just let them play. You got Kessler, who knows the situation and the team and the playbook already. We've got the young guy, Kaiser, who should have been a first-round pick. We got Osweiler, who has more playoff wins than Andy Dalton does. Yeah. And so let them play it out and see what happens.
What round did he go?
But Osweiler didn't play.
Second
round.
Osweiler didn't play in those playoff wins, so he's got experience sitting on the bench watching Peyton Manning.
You know what? And that's all that honestly I think really matters. If you're gonna have Osweiler as the third guy off the bench, you can put Kaiser as the 2. Let Kessler go out there. He doesn't have the strongest of arms. I heard he short-armed a couple of passes today. It doesn't matter, though. He doesn't make a mistake. He's an intelligent quarterback. I'm really curious just to see how next week unfolds. And then as we get into the preseason games with how the quarterback situation plays. Also, the offensive line, top 2 is what PFT was saying.
Yeah.
That's going to be a beast. Yesterday I heard that we busted off 3 15-yard runs because of the way the offensive line played. So being a Browns fan right now is really fucking cool, especially with what was going on with the tribe right now. The vibes just got to be buzzing in Cleveland.
Yeah. And I really think that day one, Osweiler's your starter.
I
think you're paying him so much that why would you risk Kessler, who you can have next year? He had concussions last season. Let him be your number 2. Let Kaiser develop. You're spending $8 million or something on Osweiler. Let him be the guy who goes out there week 1. He gets hurt.
I would love it for Kaiser to sit the bench just like Aaron Rodgers did.
Right.
Let him sit and actually learn the playbook, learn the fundamentals of being an accurate quarterback. He's got the arm for it. I agree, Mark. Let Osweiler.
Didn't Brett Favre told him that I'm not going to teach you anything, though?
Yep.
Yeah.
Not my job to teach you.
Not my job to teach you.
But there's the mold. Carson Palmer sat the full year behind John Kitna. He didn't play for the whole first year.
I just think that does something for.
Yeah. Honestly, I think that that's. I feel like that should be SOP for most QBs.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Unfortunately, the Dak Prescotts of the world and Andy Dalton and Colin Kaepernick and all these guys who in a rookie year, went to the postseason.
The Ben Roethlisbergers of the world.
That's the mold.
Flaccos of the world.
But Ben Roethlisberger came in later in the season after there was an injury. Dalton, Kaepernick, and Prescott, these guys were starters day one.
Right from the
get-go. Yeah, Russell Wilson's another one. So, all right.
Cool. All right. So Ravens. Okay. So I'm gonna wear my heart on my sleeve here a little bit. So let's talk about 2 things real quick. One, injuries. I know, right? So first of all, we have changed so many things about our training program. We went to regular grass. We got revamped the conditioning coaches. there's legitimately the only thing that makes sense at this point for injuries is really bad luck. Like the conditioning has been changed. Like we have like one of the most state of the art facilities. We've got one of the like the only thing I can think of is that either there's from lack of play there because it's mostly all knees. A lot of it's so many knees. So I don't know. I don't have enough data to compile while this is happening, but it has brought up a very interesting question, and that is the QB, because Flacco's out right now. We'll see if he's back in a week, like as we were told, or whether or not that's 3 to 6 weeks, as we've also been told. It could be a bunch of different things, but that brings in to the conversation piece Greg Roman. And Greg Roman is our new running back coach, and he's, from what I've heard, he's done really well. Buck Allen is looking out there like he's hustling, and so that's great. But Greg Roman is the connection that everybody keeps on talking about Colin Kaepernick. I am neither a fan nor not a fan of the idea of signing Cap. I am still on the fence. There's too many unknowns for me to sit there and go, okay, we need to sign this guy, or we should never sign this guy. I completely agree that yes, there is definite potential for him to be a absolute distraction. Like, there's also a lot of people that aren't going to be very happy with him. I'm not one of those people. Like, I think that like if we can forgive Michael Vick, we can forgive Kaepernick if he actually plays well. That being said, I think that what's really interesting to me is what happens if we start with Mallett. Say we don't get anybody else. We've got the players. We got Mallett. Say Flacco winds up tweaking his back again. The injury gets worse, and we're starting with Mallett for the entire season. What happens there? Because we don't have cap space. I mean, maybe we can make cap space happen.
It's a
but
top 5 pick for
You
the
don't have
guys
cap space
next
for
year.
Cap?
That's the end
I mean,
result.
we literally have no cap space for Cap. Like
2-14.
we have
On the
big,
clock,
He's
the
on
Baltimore
sale.
Ravens.
He's on sale right now.
I mean,
With the first overall
league
pick.
minimum's what, 750,000?
750 veteran minimum.
For veteran
yes.
minimum. We have about $1 million after everything's taken away. Sport Track says $4 million, but after you figure everything, I was talking to MD Law So Hard on Reddit. Thank you for sending me that link. It was really great. Thank you. Appreciate it. Basically, we have, after everything's said and done, about $1 million. I don't know how we make anything happen. Like, we need tight ends because we keep losing tight ends. Barnage is still out there, and there's no way we're going to be able to get him unless we are able to figure out some sort of
Is
crazy
he free agent?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he's still out there. Like, I'd love to have him. So, that's, I know everybody is talking about the cap and blah, blah, blah. Honestly, like, I'm done talking about it. I'm sure a lot of people are, but just to state my opinion on it, I'm neither for nor against. I am still... it's still a big question mark whether or not it's even worth bringing him in for that. Or whether or not it's just a knee-jerk response. And it feels very knee-jerk.
The problem with Kaepernick is, and it's the same thing with Tebow, is no one is going to tolerate, and Joe Thomas tweeted this out 3 or 4 months ago, your second string quarterback cannot be a distraction.
Yeah.
He can't be.
I
don't care how much you're paying for him. No team is going to tolerate that out of a backup.
I do not
And that's
disagree.
why he's unemployed. It's got nothing to do with anything other than that.
By the way, I do want to touch on one thing that was left unresolved from the last episode, and that is we did sign Jeremy Maclin.
Yeah.
We did wind up...
That's awesome. You got a wide receiver.
Yeah, I know,
You
right?
had 4 touchdowns
But you
last
even
year,
you
but
went to
no
town and
quarterback to
it's like,
throw.
you're never going to sign him.
Okay,
It's
but
never going to happen.
Here's the problem.
And that
You
may
would
be
have
the
a lot more cap space if you
Yeah.
hadn't signed Jeremy Maclin.
But here's the thing, is that if anybody's going to be able to
Get
catch
Marty.
a pass from Mallett, it's going to be Jeremy
You
Maclin.
can have Kaepernick,
right?
you
So,
can have
did we
Barnage.
really hurt ourselves? I don't know.
No, if Maclin could pick quarterback, you didn't.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, it's also early in camp, so we're still trying to figure out a lot
Throw
of
the ball
things.
high in the air, run on down, catch it yourself.
Yeah.
So I don't want to harp on too many things, but I will say that honestly, out of all the position battles, the most interesting battles to me are both wide receiver and linebacker. Those battles are insane right now because what I'm seeing through Bowser, Correa, like Tim White, what I'm seeing through the wide receivers, with Moore stepping in today, like having Campanero back, Brashad Perriman looking like a speedster, beating, he beat out Marlon Humphreys. And the Marlon Humphreys has been showing beautiful flashes too. Some really good stuff, some really, really good stuff. And Weddle and Webb out there too with Jefferson, and Jefferson was just able to practice today. So We got a lot of things still to get through with camp, but I had to touch on it. So I'm sorry to beat a dead horse with Colin Kaepernick, but there's so much going on. Anyway.
Steelers.
If Jan's not going to talk about it, I will. If any of the Steelers were to retire at an early age,
Urschel, yeah.
Early being 25, 26,
Yeah.
I'm going to have a problem with that. Unless this guy was a known mathematician and was acing classes
I love
at
how
MIT.
that's the gatekeeper right there.
Mathematician and acing classes at MIT.
Dude.
So I tip my hat to Urschel. I got no problem with that move.
You know,
I love that from him.
We've had a trend ever since the report came out with the 110 of 111 all tested positive for CT. Baby Hawk retired, going and getting his PhD at MIT. So he kind of decided same kind of thing. I can get a PhD in MIT and keep my brain while it's still working.
Yep.
But go figure. I hear Megatron's thinking about coming back now.
Well, I mean, look at Zachary Orr. I mean, he retired from the Ravens, and now... Excuse me. He retired from the Ravens, and now he's thinking about coming back. Oh, man, I'm allergic to you.
I think Urschel's too smart for that. So I'm going to talk about
We're all
a few...
allergic to Steelers. It's
Yeah,
okay.
I know, right?
I'm going to talk about a few competition battles we've got going on in Pittsburgh that I think are kind of cool to talk about. The first one I'm going to start with, Jones versus Dobbs. I think this is the year. I think this is the year that Jones gets relegated down to number 3 on the depth chart. I think Dobbs is the guy to take that number 2, that backup spot. I love everything I'm seeing from him. I heard he's doing outstanding in camp right now. He's got the long ball like Ben does. I think that really helps him fit into the Steelers organization much better than Jones, who, if it's going long, I'm not sure exactly who it's going to. He can throw the long ball. I just don't know who's
really
going
surprised
to.
you guys still have him.
Yeah, I'm surprised he has a job too.
Someone's got to do it. Someone's got to do it.
Depth.
Yep.
Especially with Roethlisberger, again, now saying that he may not play after this season.
Right.
And then he said, like, what,
it's tough.
yesterday is like, 20, are you playing in 2018? I hope so. Like, dude, shit or get off the pot.
You gotta have those guys back there to back it up.
Like, talk about, like, market instability.
When you've taken that many hits, though, I mean, that many broken noses, busted ankles, busted knees,
Yeah.
I question it, too.
You start to think about
I
that.
get it.
after
I
a
get
few
it.
years.
Okay.
Agreed.
Cam Sutton and Ross Cockrell. This is another good one. I talked earlier about the Steelers converting from a zone defense to a man defense. I think this year's draft was pretty obvious as far as the directions we're going to go. We got 2 defensive backs just like last year. I think that conversion is going to happen sooner than later. And Ross Cockrell is more of a zone guy. I see him maybe taking a seat behind one of the younger guys. I really thought it was going to be Senquez Golson. Obviously not going to happen. We'll see what's going to happen there. We know on the other side, Artie Burns has that locked down no matter what scheme we're using. It's going to be very interesting to see who gets that opposite side corner. And then the last one I want to talk about, Juju Smith-Schuster versus Martavis Bryant.
Yeah, Juju's been
Nice
interesting. He was just in the news a couple days ago.
Juju is interesting. He is interesting. And what is so interesting about it is that Bryant hasn't been fully reinstated yet. We don't know exactly how it's going to play out. And Juju's not a bad player. So if he continues to improve, he has a very strong preseason. I see him getting some burn during the regular season, and he may challenge Bryant because Bryant now is that distraction for the Steelers that you guys were just talking about.
Yeah.
So if Juju is comparable in skill, I know he's a lot slower than Bryant is. A lot slower. He's similar size, a lot slower. If he continues to produce and improve, maybe we sit
Watch his
Bryant
tape.
down.
He goes
Who's
to
got
SC.
the bigger body out of the two?
I think Bryant is like 6'3" and really thin. Schuster is about the same height but a lot thicker.
Okay.
So if
Perfect
you
up
want
and
to
over the
go
middle,
goal
guy. You
line,
want possession,
Yeah.
watch
Smith
the
might be the
same
guy.
Exactly.
If you want to go down the
Brian
field,
Brennan,
Bryant.
both.
I mean,
All
you
about
guys
speed.
have all
Yeah.
seen it. So that's what I got.
All
And I
right.
want Bengal fans to brace themselves. I didn't touch on it, but there's going to be some quality guys that aren't going to make our team that are going to get snapped up. They're not coming back to our practice squad. We have so many receivers. There's going to be some quality guys, and they're going to be really, really hurtful cuts when we get down to the roster time.
Yeah.
So I didn't even get into it. We have so many receivers in the barn. That,
Honestly, I'm terrified about what our injured reserve is going to look like because we can only.
yeah.
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 I mean, that 53-man roster it's going to be we're going to have to make some uncomfortable cuts
Yeah.
because of our roster, the PUP list, the injury reserve, like, whenever you figure in how many people you can have on IR, plus, it's like before even training camp starts, like...
Is it 1 or 2 you can bring back? 1?
I think it's 2 this year.
Yeah,
If
2.
they upped it, I'm not sure, so
2 on the
you can put it in the comment section. Tell me I was wrong.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think they upped it to 2 can return.
That
early
is
this
so
year.
fascinating,
But-
I think, in NFL, is to have someone like, yeah, he's probably going to be hurt for 6 months.
And then you don't tag him right.
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. Do we
Well,
bring him back or don't we?
That's one of the arguments for increasing the games, because I know the owners want to go one more game and cut back one from preseason. But if the players could get larger rosters, larger IRs, that would be the trade-off. So I think when the CBA comes up, that's going to be the give and take because it'll be more jobs for
I'd like to
players.
see it go to
Yeah.
60.
Players,
Well,
more
it could
regular
get even
for
60.
ownership.
So, but I'm saying I'll have to up it because if you're going for the extra week, so we'll see what happens. That's in the.
I would
future,
say
though.
that, like, honestly, prediction, it'll probably go from... I would predict that it probably goes from a 53 to a 55 before it goes to 60.
And we'll see. It'll all be like I said. That the owners want the money, so they'll give on the roster size. And like I said, we can increase the IR size and who could be designated for return.
Not
Those
only
are all
that,
things that'll be dealt with in the new CBA.
From the business perspective, that's 2 more jerseys you could put up for sale. Like, that's the other aspect of it.
So,
All right, guys. Thanks again, superfanstyle.com, for sponsoring us. We really, really appreciate it. You can go to superfanstyle.com. AFC North 20, get 20% off your purchase. Thank you again to all of you guys for commenting. We know it's been a minute. Once regular season starts, we're really excited about it.
and thank you to Jack Lambert's Balls who had a shout
Yes,
out on
Jack
Reddit.
Lambert's
Yes,
balls.
I saw your thing on Reddit. Thank
My
you.
heart.
We missed you too, man.
I missed you,
it's
brother.
It's all good.
I always get talked about when I talk about Jack Lambert's ball.
I know.
So I'm just going to leave it alone.
Then-
He knows he's my homeboy, though, so there it is.
All right, guys, that's it for us. Just so you guys know, also we are we're really excited for this coming season, and we do have some things in the works as well. We're trying to make some stuff happen. So, thank you so much for tuning in again. And everybody good?
Yeah.
Cool.
Let's
Remember,
sign it off by
check
saying
us out.
fuck Pittsburgh.
Oh, well, where are they going to find us?
Oh, yeah, exactly. That's what we're gonna do. Just making sure you check us out right here on Twitter at AFC Northerners. Our Facebook Live is right there. And also, please make sure you like us on Facebook, comment on Facebook, comment on YouTube, spread the word because we love you and we want also everybody to know that we fucking love you guys. Anyway, we're gonna sign off as we always do with
Fuck the
Patriots!
Fuck the Browns.
Fuck Pittsburgh.
We are
Bye,
shaking in
everybody.
our boots for week 1, too.
Bye.
We're shaking
Bye,
our little
everybody.
Steelers
Bye,
boots.
guys.
Oh, man.